Steven Breadman Edwards. What's good, Brad?
Not much, man. Just getting ready for this fight, that's all.
Okay. So, fights Saturday, big fight, Anthony Dirrell, Kyrone Davis. How did this fight come about?
I was called and offered to fight. That's how it came about. It's as simple as that.
Why this fight right now?
We'll see Saturday night, you know. I go by my instincts. I go by, the way I feel, and there's no exact science to this. Everybody's career is different. Everybody has to go a different road. Everybody's an individual. I got offered the fight, and we was already getting ready for a fight, and we were supposed to fight much earlier, but he came down with the COVID, and so we just took it. The numbers was right. And I just felt like that he was ready for this kind of fight. I felt like that him being up under the gun, it'll make him realize his potential, the fighting the kind of fights he was fighting. For $10,000, $15,000, he's a talented kid. So he deserves the platform that he's on. He's been in the shadow of a lot of kids in this area, but he could fight. And I just felt like it was time to take the fight.
Now, the fight's on Fox, right?
Yes.
Is there any added pressure being at, national TV? Does that go with the preparation?
It's all part of the game. This is going to be his first time on the big stage, but this is because this is your first time. That don't mean you can't succeed, Nothing changes. It's still a ring, still gloves, still 3 judges. He's still fighting one person, The rules don't change. He's been doing this all his life. So, I expect to have a little bit of anxiety and nervous jitters. He's a human being, but every time somebody fights, you get that. Dirrell may have that too. So it's part of it. He's going to adapt, and it's going to be what it's going to be.
Anthony Dirrell's coming off of a loss. Is there anything that you saw in the David Benavidez fight that you feel like you can capitalize on?
He got stopped. But, he's still a hell of a fighter. Nobody's invincible. He's coming off of a loss, obviously. Kyrone's not invincible. Anthony's not invincible. It's always something that you could take advantage of. But that's hypothetical. Kyrone has to go in the ring and execute it. But Anthony Dirrell's a hell of a fighter, but he's a human being. He's lost fights. He's been cut. He's been knocked out before. So things happen. Things can happen to anybody. So even though, we look at in this fight as an underdog, and people don't like Kyrone's chances, he's still fighting another human being. He's not fighting a robot. I don't look at another man like that. Once you start doing that, then your fighters, you're gonna give off an energy to your fighter to let him know that you don't think he can win. And I wouldn't have took this fight if I didn't believe that he could win. It's up to him to go out there and execute, but I believe he could win. And him and David Benavidez is 2 totally different people. But like I said, Anthony lost that fight, and he's vulnerable just like any other fighter is. Anybody could lose on any given day. If the great Roy Jones Jr. could lose, that's like the most unbeatable dude I've ever seen in my life. Anybody could lose. So I don't view this as a fight with Kyrone so up against it, and Anthony's gonna blow him out. I don't see all of that. And if he does, then more power to him, because Kyrone's in shape and we ready to fight.
Do you feel like your experience and you being on this level multiple times kind of evens the playing field, being that he's never been on it before?
You know what, man? I don't get into that. Sometimes you can have a guy that been there and he have an off night. Sometimes you can have a guy that never been there and he had the best night of his life. Anything can happen in a fight. Like, I'll give you an example. Anthony's a much more experienced fighter than David Benavidez. But that, the experience didn't translate on that particular night. Anything can happen. Every night is different. Once you start setting your mind to certain things that's going to happen and things like that, you have these preconceived notions. Kyrone might get in there, man, and start feeling himself and doing his thing, and Anthony be like, wow, this kid better than I thought he was. You never know. Obviously I got experience, but Kyrone got experience, man. He's never been on this stage before. He got 100 amateur fights, He's been around. He's been in camp with, I don't want to say better, but more accomplished fighters than Anthony. You know, so, you know, we ready to fight. We'll just see. You know, I got nothing but respect for him, but I don't look at it as experience. Experience sometimes can be age. He's 10 years older than Kyrone, so of course he's going to beat through more. You know what I'm saying? He had more opportunities to beat through more. So, you know, experience don't always matter in fights. You know, it's something that you can draw from, but, you know, sometimes youth is the prevailing thing in the fight. Sometimes it's experience, sometimes it's power, sometimes it's defense. Two guys got to line up, and you got to see how they handle the moment.
How does he fit in the division?
I'll let you know after this on Saturday night. I promise. I'll talk to you. You know, I just got to see, man. You know, we got to see. That's the way I look at all fights. You know, I've been in fights, man, where I won as the trainer with an underdog, and I've lost as the trainer with a big favorite. You got to see. You got to see guys go in the fight. You know, and that's the way I look at it. Nobody has ever won a fight that they didn't take. Nobody has ever landed a punch that they didn't throw. You can't win the lottery if you don't play. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you have to see. You got to get in that ring and see. I'm not going to let the reputation of Anthony Dirrell, you know, deter me from taking this fight. You know, and Kyrone is not going to let the reputation of Anthony Dirrell, you know, beat him. Anthony's going to have to beat him. And if he do, like I said, more power to him, man. We shake his hand and that be that. I like Anthony. You know, I've been around him several times. He's a nice guy. You know, but, you know, you don't let a fighter's reputation beat you.
Okay. There was a fight this past Saturday. Oscar Valdez faced Miguel Berchelt. Did you watch it?
Yes.
What'd you think of that performance?
He was all that, man. That little dude fought his butt off, man. That was some big time boxing, man. He did a lot of good stuff, man. Got a lot of respect for him. He got a great trainer too. That was like, but guess what? He was the underdog.
Yeah, now that you
people say, you know, oh my God, Berchelt's so big, he's gonna kill him. You don't know what's gonna happen when two guys get in the ring, man. Yeah, you never know what's gonna happen. So we'll see, man. That boy fought his butt off. That was a perfect fight, perfect execution. And when Berchelt pushed, because he made a push around the 6th or 7th round. Valdez got his second win. He stayed calm, and he gave him the business, man. I was very, very, very impressed.
Did the knockout surprise you?
You know, man, I'm telling you, I'm not gonna act like I picked Valdez to win, because I didn't. I thought Berchelt was gonna get him because Valdez had been struggling. But nothing really surprises me in boxing, because sometimes casual fans and people on social media, what y'all don't get is that anybody can lose. These dudes is human beings. I've seen great fighters get clipped in sparring. I've seen dudes that are journeyman level club fighters get the better of the championship fighters in the gym. I've seen guys come in the ring and they just not feeling themselves. You don't know how somebody made weight. You don't know what kind of distractions they have. You don't know what's going on in their life. You know, like every day you wake up, you're not the same. So when guys lose, people be like, oh my God, I can't believe that. No, he can lose. You know, anybody can lose on any given day. And that day, it was Valdez's day. He had that look in his eye, man. I was watching the fight about the 4th round. I was like, wow, this dude, Berchelt is in trouble. That kid was on. He wasn't giving. And a lot of this is up here, man. It's up here, you know. And once Valdez got into his rhythm, that was it. Berchelt could have grew another arm, and he wouldn't have won that fight after that boy got in his rhythm, man. It happens like that sometimes.
Who would you like to see Valdez fight next? Because there's talks about Shakur Stevenson, and then you got some fans saying they want to see Tank.
I don't know, man. You know, I'm kind of worried about Kyrone Davis, and they all great fighters. I don't know. I think Valdez then wrote his own ticket. Knowing what I know about today's landscape, he probably not going to take a tough fight like that right after taking the Berchelt fight. You know, I mean, Shakur Stevenson, that kid. I mean, you talk about hard to beat. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to beat him. He's really hard to beat. He's like, his reflexes, you can't hit him. You know, so. You know, I don't want to be nobody's matchmaker, but I don't know if Valdez would want to go near him. You know, he vacated his belt and moved up. You know, when Shakur Stevenson was his mandatory. Shakur Stevenson's a hard dude to fight, man. You know, everybody talk about other guys because he's not a puncher, but man, it's gonna be hard to beat him. You can't hit him. You just can't. His eyes, he's on you the whole time. When you go to hit him, he slides his feet out of the way. You can't hit him with a clean punch, man. You know, until his reflexes slow down a little bit, you know. everybody's so down with a little bit of age. But right now, he's gonna be tough to beat.
Okay. Thanks, Brad. I appreciate it.
Yep.